Hello, and welcome to another exciting episode of Reality Check Radio, where we are going to talk about some of the things that are occurring in these very end times that we are living in. Some of the mind-blowing things that is hard for people to wrap their mind around. Most of us have heard of the Nephilim Giants from Genesis 6. And if you know your Bible, it says that there were giants in those days and also after that, meaning that we also know that David encountered a giant after that, being Goliath. And believe it or not, there are actual giants that have been caught on video, such as in the photo that you see behind me here. This was actually a video, I believe, made in the early 1900s in China of a giant that is walking down the street. Now, like I said, I have it in still image, but it's actually a video that you guys can probably look up online. I don't know how censored it is by now, but it's pretty amazing. What you see behind me there, coming up to the crotch area of this giant, is a guy that isn't short, a guy on horseback, probably around 6 foot tall, and he's on horseback, and he still only comes up to the crotch area there. I can get out of the way. You can see him here. Everything's reversed, so it's anyway right there. Um, and Steve Quell has done a lot of investigating into these Nephilim giants and discovered a lot of mounds and bones around the world and a lot of covering up by different different societies and museums and higher ups, like the Smithsonian, for example, covers up a lot of these discoveries of giant bones in the past. But a lot of these giants are said to still be alive and kept in the lower levels of deep underground military bases, or what we would call dumps, DUMBS. Um, and these giants are supposed to be part of the end times war that is going to happen. Maybe not just the war, which is the Battle of Armageddon, but maybe even other wars in the end times. Meaning that they're going to have to revive a lot of these giants. They have some giants that I've heard that work in the deep underground military bases for whistleblowers that have came forward and seen these that are 10 to 15 foot tall, and other giants that are much larger than that, 20 to 30 feet tall, that a lot of them haven't been revived. They've been kept in a state of stasis, uh, like kind of an extended hibernation for 1,000 or more years. And it sounds like woo woo, I know, but this is actually what these people that work in these deep underground military bases will tell you. And when these giants in stasis are considered more aggressive, more not as domesticated, I guess you could say. And so they have to be pretty leery around them. They want them to fight for them during these battles of the end times, but they definitely don't want to how do I put this, to bring them out of stasis and wake them up in a confined area. Um, it's almost hard to imagine in a confined area like a deep underground military base, a room of a deep underground military base. It's almost hard to imagine these giants are not like these feeble people that we have today that have what they call giantism, or that disease. No, they're muscle bound, and they're huge, and they are powerful beyond imagination. And the last thing you want, I mean, look at it from the giant's perspective. He's being woken up after 1,000 years of stasis or hibernation. And so they're going to be startled, um, probably even frightened, even though they're a giant. And so the initial reactions are going to be really unpredictable. And you're not going to be able to easily contain a 25 or 30-foot muscle bound giant, no matter what conditions you have, when you revive them. And so the logical choice is to bring these giants to the surface and then revive them slowly, and then maybe have a few of the other giants that are more docile underground waiting to explain the situation once these giants get out of their agitated state, once they calm down, you know, and you can't really just release a 25 or 30-foot giant above ground for to be possibly caught by a helicopter, a plane, a drone, satellite, you people hiking, you name it. So there has to be a method to the madness, and that's what I'm going to share with you now on share screen and explain to you what my theory is, anyway, about what's going on during these satanic elites preparing for some of these end time battles that are about to take place. And the Bible even tells us that men's hearts will fail them for things that they see coming upon the earth. And a lot of people think these are asteroid impacts or space aliens, which it very well could be part of it. And part of it could very well be these monsters and giants and different entities that we will literally see walking the earth in the near future. Anyway, so I will share with you my feelings and my take on this. Now, I believe, hold on one second, I'm waiting for make sure everything's working here. Now, I believe that before you can release one of these massive giants above ground, after bring him out of being sedated, I believe that you're going to have use modern technology and cloak them so that they're not visible. And they actually do have this. They've had this technology, even though they would have you believe they're just now coming out with it. They've actually had it for countless years. I mean, 20 more years. Even when they made the movie Predator, a lot of you have probably seen the movie Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That movie is a depiction of what they actually even had at that time. It's the truth hidden in plain sight. It's cloaking technology. And this video is a short video here that I'll share with you that talks about that as if we're just coming out with it. Well, actually, no, this video is 12 years old. So it talks about it 12 years ago and lets you know at that time what they knew and what they were willing to share with the public. And if they knew this and are willing to share it in public 12 years ago, then go back 20 or 30 years to the time that Predator was made, and you can see that this is old technology. Anyway, I'm going to share this video with you guys. Forgive me, my computer's lagging. Oops, guys. I should say I'm going to try to share this video.
Can be the difference between a soldier getting shot and going home. So what's variety of the next generation designed to outfit troops? It's only been 8 years since the Army spent $5 billion on camel that critics say didn't fool anyone. Soldiers complained to the point the Army abandoned its one-size-fits-all universal pattern. So they were looking for camouflage that they could use everywhere. Correct. And it didn't work anywhere. Guy Kramer is one of the designers competing to win the Army's next multi-million-dollar contract. This summer, he showed us the science behind every shape, size, and shade of these pixels. You now have your camouflage. We're trying to trick the brain into seeing things that aren't actually there. Digital patterns recreate shapes already found in nature, and 3D layering creates depth and shadows where none exist. That's today's design. The developers already have very quickly is the Harry Potter cloak. What is it? With that fictional cloak, Harry isn't just camouflage, he's invisible. My body's gone. How invisible are we talking here? If I walked into a room with a soldier wearing one of these cloaks, you wouldn't see him at all. He would be completely invisible to you. This isn't make-believe. The military has seen the so-called quantum stealth technology. It works by bending the light around an object, even concealing most of a person's shadow. Imagine what that could do for a sniper hiding in a field, or the American pilots who ejected over Libya. Their fighter jets crashed last.
Okay, anyway, what they're talking about 12 years ago in this video, hold on one second, is literally reality today. And there's actually more recent video that shows this technology. At least you can actually buy holographic, invisibility plates on the internet for like $94 right now. But there is actually a video of a guy, I believe a fairly recent video. Well, not even fairly recent. We went from 12 years ago with the last video talking about the what do I want to say, holographic, the invisibility technology being made for the military. And then we go back, almost half that time to 7 years ago, a little over half that time. And we have a guy that's demonstrating the holographic cloak that they were talking about in the first video, like the Harry Potter type thing. So before I go any further, I'll share that video with you guys.
Well, Francis is playing away.
Anyway, so you get the idea. And you're probably wondering why I'm sharing this with you. I'm sharing it with you because if you were going to release a 30-foot plus tall Nephilim that you just revived, that's going to be confused, scared, and chaotic, you're probably going to want to dress him in something like that cloak so that as he goes into his chaotic fit, not knowing where he is, let alone what time period, 1,000 years or more, into the future. Um, Definitely going to be chaos and confusion with a really big dude. And you're definitely not going to want, if you're from the perspective of these satanic elites, you're not going to want the general public to see this. And so you're probably going to want to have this giant cloaked in technology like I just showed you. And that's where the next video I'm going to share with you guys comes in. This next video is mind-boggling and amazing, but it seems to prove the point of what I am talking about here. Reviving some of these larger Nephilim giants and not wanting to revive them indoors, wanting it to take place outdoors, but still wanting to conceal this as much as possible. So I'm going to share this video that was taken in 2021. I believe that's when they first started reviving these giants. So anyway, I'm going to share that video with you guys. It's absolutely mind blowing. Look, you can literally see something messing with these trees, and if you watch closely, you'll see the object, even though it's still the color of the trees because the camouflage it's wearing, you'll see it walk literally from left to right here between the two trees. It won't be just a tree swaying anymore. There you saw a section of right there, right there. That is this type of camouflage. So take on the same. Seems like it's throwing a fit, confused, stasis, and there you see a part of it. And then hold on, you're gonna see it literally walk through here in just a second. Right? Oh, they put up the camera. Right there. There it is. There it is. There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. Right. Yeah. Anyway, absolutely mind blowing. Absolutely mind blowing. And it's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I believe they are now experimenting with reviving these giant Nephilim and getting them ready for some of these final battles, especially the Battle of Armageddon that's in the near future in these end times we live in. Kind of scary, I guess, if you're not a Christian. Not super scary if you know the Lord's on our side, which, we do as Christians. We know the Lord's on our side. So it definitely brings you some kind of peace, even though we're facing things like this. And like I said earlier in the video, there have been smaller giants, I believe, 10 to 15 foot, maybe even some close to 20 that are more docile, that have been more controllable. And they work with these giants in these underground bases. But some of the larger giants, according to Steve Quayle and some other people that have studied these giants and the skeletons they've discovered, they literally get beyond 30 foot. I mean, some of them supposedly up to 40 feet. And this is from the time of Noah. Keep that in mind because I make other videos about Titans, which are not the giants of Noah's days, but that's a whole different category. So, and doesn't have anything to do, in my opinion, necessarily directly with the Battle of Armageddon or the days we live in right now. But anyway, um, with that in mind, I will end you with a short clip from a supposed whistleblower um, sharing what he knows about some interaction with giants that are more docile, that do live in these underground military bases. So I'm going to share that with you now. And thanks for watching this episode of Reality Check Radio. God bless.
Greg Renrich, that was one of the things that he told me. He's the one that was talking about seeing the Giants in the deep underground military bases. He said that one of the first things that they had to do before he was allowed to go into S4 or S20 or any of the others, they made him sign an affidavit saying, you're not allowed to use the name Jesus Christ in these underground facilities, not even if you stub your toe or anything. And he said that he saw 10 to 25-foot tall giants in these underground bases and said that they were, human scientists and other people working side by side with him. He said that they even came right out and said they were the Nephilim. They came right out and said that, basically we're preparing for an intergalactic war with God, and they believe that they're going to win. Where are they getting this? They're going to win from? And why are you not allowed to say the name Jesus in these underground facilities?